ACMC 339 Dudley Road, New Style Radio 98.7 FM, Breakthrough Studios, and Reggae Jam.
Is the COVID-19 pandemic affecting your business or your livelihood? Are you struggling to pay your pending and current bills? Then you must listen very carefully. Premium advertising will expose your business to thousands of people instantly by using both digital and terrestrial radio and a wide range of social media platforms to get your business out there and start making money. It is that simple, so don't delay. Contact us to advertise your business on New Style Radio 98.7 FM, www.newstyleradio.co.uk, and all multiple social media platforms. A highly trained digital marketing team will create a bespoke digital marketing strategy tailored to get your business up and running and making money in no time. Don't delay, call us today. Our team is standing by. 07584197380. WhatsApp us on 07872443765 or email us at newstyleradio@yahoo.com. Good afternoon. How you doing? Welcome to another program in the series of What's on Your Mind. The program is produced by Breakthrough TV at gmail.com. Let me say thank you. All you guys who've been supporting the program over the last couple of months. It's our week 42, yeah? And we still keep going. Let me say thank you for supporting the show. Also today, I've got a wonderful guest in the studio today. And her name is Shazidi. How are you doing, Shazidi?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you.
Yes. Let me say welcome to Breakthrough TV.
Thank you for inviting me on.
Yeah. And how has your day been?
Stressful, but okay. I'm grateful to be alive.
What have you been up to?
Oh, have you got all day?
Yeah.
I've had a lot to do.
You've had a lot to do.
Sadly for me, the year ended on a very sad note with the death of my uncle. Oh. And we've just had his funeral, just laid him to rest.
Yeah, my condolences.
And so, thank you.
Our condolences.
And so the cycle carries on. I've got another 2 deaths to deal with, funerals coming up this week.
My days.
So yes, just in the thick of it.
It's just one of them things that
happens.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm grateful that I'm alive. I really do give the Almighty thanks, and here to see 2022.
2022.
Yes.
Do you think the last couple of years been bad or hard, or how would you describe the last couple of years?
During the COVID and the pandemic, it really has changed my perspective on a lot of things. Yeah. It's slowed me down for one, because I do believe I was a real go-getter.
Serious.
Out there all the time in the world of promotions. It's turned a new leaf in my chapter and my journey, in so much that I'm now facilitating a food bank that's been going since the pandemic started.
And how's that going?
Very well.
Very well.
Yeah, you know, you'd be surprised at some of the people that you're actually reaching out to and supporting. Yeah. The numbers are forever increasing.
Yeah, and is it that bad out there? Is it that bad?
It is.
It is that bad.
It's hard to take on board exactly what is going on out there, but people are feeling that pinch.
And considering this country is probably in the top 8 richest country in the world.
Yeah, the term homeless and poverty is rife. It really is.
My days. And how are some of the people coping with that?
A lot of people are suffering in great difficulty, but they're suffering in silence. Yeah. And we try to bridge that gap in our approach, our ethos in how we deal with people, in attending the food bank. Okay. And we also, at the end of the working day for us, we'll go out and feed the homeless, dig birth wherever, with anything that we have surplus.
And how often do you do this?
3 days a week.
3 days a week.
Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Those are the operating days for the food bank. But as my partner would tell you, I facilitate whenever. Sometimes I get a phone call that someone needs an emergency food parcel.
Serious?
And I'm out there. But equally, he does it too.
Yeah.
Because with the line of work that he is involved in, he'll sometimes ring me up and go, babes, I need a food parcel. Can you get one for me? And, you know, so it's a two-way thing. We're both community active people. Yeah. We love our community, so therefore we try to make sure that we're able to look out for them whenever we can.
Marvelous. That is absolutely. Let me do this.
We don't. We really don't do it for for the likes. It's because we are passionate community people.
Of course, you're passionate community people who do what is necessary and what you have to do. You know what I mean? That's great, guys. Anyway, we're going to chat to you a little bit later on. Because the program is about what's on your mind.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me.
And I'm sure you've got a lot to do with it. But as you know, I always looked at a few things that is happening around the world and sort of a couple of the headlines that's been happening. Even so, a lot of people sort of don't really see it in the mainstream, but it's still there. So we always sort of look. And then later on, we look at sports. I have my little rants, and then we'll talk to the wonderful Shazadi. Right? So let me move on. Now, a 5-year-old boy has been trapped in Morocco. And a lot of people was trying to get him out. The rescuers was actually trying to get him out. And unfortunately, when they did rescue him, the king of Morocco said he died. And that is actually a terrible, terrible situation for such a young lad, to happen to. And I say he fell in the hole. And if you got children, or you're with children, it's just such a terrible thing. But there was hundreds of people came out to his funeral this week. And we say big condolence, to his family and all the people who actually supported the wonderful young man. And his name is actually Ryan Oman, I say we say big condolence to his family, Let me move on. As you know, we'll always move on. Now, the body of a mom who died in Jamaica while on holiday is being returned to the UK. And her family are actually looking for answers from the Jamaican police. There's also a post-mortem, which they hasn't finished doing yet. And I said, this happens in January. And as I say, they're still trying to find what happens to this wonderful lady. She owns a business in Birmingham, and she was, security and all that sort of stuff in Birmingham. So, and we say, once again, big condolence to her family. And S. Simone, which is a name, is we say condolence to her family, which is a sort of terrible thing to what's happened to such a young lady. And I say she's only in her early 20s. And the family yet to hear from the police in Jamaica, also the Jamaican government, of what is actually happened to that wonderful lady. The next thing I want to move into is traffic crash. 7 people died in a traffic crash in Mandeville, Manchester, Jamaica. And they was rushed to Mandeville Hospital, and they say they died. And we're only in the 2nd month of the year. In January, from the 1st of January to the 31st of January, 53 people got killed in motoring accident in Jamaica. You got to bear in mind, this is January. And the fact is, there's only 31 days in January. So those figures are sort of going up. And we hope it doesn't keep going up. Because I'm going to have a rant about this later on and think, is it careless driving? Is it drugs? Or is it just people don't care? Or is it the fact that then we'll just get used to it so we don't even bother about it? It's human life. So we got to take things like that into consideration, My next story now. Now, this I quite like, because Portmore, a lot of people talk about Portmore. No, Portmore is set to become the 15th parish of Jamaica. And it's the first parish that has been named, if it does happen, for 155 years, which is actually marvelous. The trouble with Portmore now, it hasn't got any hospital. I don't think it's got a police station, and it hasn't got a market. So it's going to need all these wonderful things. I got to say, I've never been to Portmore. I think when I was very, very young, because I got to say Portmore is probably, they was created it because it's part of the Seasonets. I think if I recall right, in the very, very early days, when I used to drive on the Joyous buses them out to Spanish Town Road, it's part of the sea, so they actually, welcome, they dump part of the sea, that's what we call it. They dump part of the sea, and it becomes what it is now. But it's great to see that. And I say, they'll have to build a police station and a good market. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. And while you're subscribing, we make the program better and make it more interesting. So let me say thanks for your support. Now, I actually need to move on. Yeah. Now, The Voice, according to The Voice, the racist road in London, Tottenham, and the name of the road is Black Boy Lane. Now, a lot of people have been campaigning for quite some time to have this name change of the road. They say it's racist, well, Black Boy Lane. Well, read what you want into that. But a lot of people say it's racist. So they've actually decided to change the name. And the man you see on my screen is his name is La Rosa. And he's the first African Caribbean to actually own a bookshop in the United Kingdom. So the name of the road will actually be changed to La Rosa Lane. Yeah. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And I quite like that actually. I mean, a lot of people has complained about, oh, you don't need to change the road. It's been there for how many years and and all that sort of stuff. But we're living in a changing time. We see all kind of racist thing going on when you do things like that or you see things like that. So I think changing it is actually a very, very good idea. Come on, we're living in what century we are living in now. So I actually think it is actually a good thing to actually change it. Yeah. Now this is also another racist one, according to CNN. Now CNN has showed a video of an American basketball player playing football in China. And what actually happens, this has been circulating on social media, but we always do our investigation. And we get some source from actually CNN. And what has actually happened? A lot of people were saying it was about the Olympics player who's gone to China at the moment, the Beijing Olympics. But it wasn't about the Beijing Olympics. This is actually an American baseball player who, American football player, baseball player who actually been racially abused in China. We're going to rant about that a little bit later on. So we're going to talk about that and, show you the clip that's been circulating around and see how it's going. Let's say it is basketball. My apologies. But don't forget, this is a live stream. You will see a little bit of that sometimes and that sometimes. So that's how it goes. And that's how we choose to do it. So there you have it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, thank you. Moving on, the man you see on my screen. What can I say about Lewis? Lewis has been on social media for a while. And he's actually returned. And he started posting a few clips on social media. And he's actually back at the Mercedes headquarters. In fact, he actually had a new seat. Because all different cars, take different seats. I wish somebody would change my chair. But all different cars that they drive, each car that they change, they have to be fitted properly with the seats. So he's been at Mercedes headquarters in England, actually, because Mercedes headquarters is in England, and he's actually been having his new seat and fitted like that. But a lot of people say now, Lewis Hamilton should retire, and he should do this, and should step down. But I know a lot of people is worrying him now because he's back, and he's still, he's in his 30s, but it's very hard to beat. He's going to be very, very hard to beat. So, but all those people who say he should retire, he should stop, they're thinking, oh no, Lewis is still carrying on. What chances is there for me to get to the top of the motor racing? I'll get into the fourth on the podium, So, it's one of them ones. Now, my favorite is this week, because Senegal has won the African Cup of Nations Football Championship. Now, I got to tell you, this hasn't get a lot of exposure. It hasn't get a lot of exposure. And as I say, Senegal beat Egypt. I was actually supporting Cameroon, but then I switched when Cameroon lost. And it was actually held in Cameroon. When Cameroon lost, I switched and I supported Senegal. But I say, it hasn't been... A lot of people haven't supported this. I don't know if it's because, and also a lot of these players who was on those teams played in Europe. But if not much was going on in Europe, a lot of people would have been yes. Fantastic. But because this is in Africa, it seems a little bit backward for they're not getting the support that they actually needed. You need to go and have a look what Ian Wright has to say about this. I've talked about this before, and you need to go and have a look what Ian Wright has actually said about this, even before the match actually started, yeah? Right, so, as I say, my team was actually Cameroon. But Senegal win, but I can deal with that. And Senegal, I should say, Senegal are the kings of Africa Football Championship, yeah? Now, I go to what I call entertainment. Now, Marcia Griffiths, the queen of reggae, she has said a lot of artists and producers in the music business needs to start producing more positive lyrics in the current climate that is actually going on in Jamaica. The negative lyrics, the bad lyrics, the slap lyrics, the gun violence lyrics, she says a lot of artists need to look at this and be more positive about their music. And don't forget, Marcia Griffiths is the queen of reggae, along with the I Trees, Judy Mort, Rita Marley, and Marcia Griffiths. Also, if those of you who are too young that don't realize this, these were the actual ladies backing vocals for Bob Marley and the Wailers. Also, they had their own career that was going. So we say, still with us? And we say, absolutely fantastic. And I actually call these ladies, if you ever watch my program on New Star Radio, I actually do a program called Giants of Music, a feature. These were our ladies are what I actually call giants of music, yeah. And I got to give her a big clap. Got to give them a big clear. Now, also the Minister of Entertainment, Culture, Oliver Grange, she's also hit out at this, the gun violence thing that is actually going on, and says artists should shape up and start producing more constructive music and more leave out the gun lyrics that they use in their music. Stop singing about guns, and leave out bust this or shot in that man, kill this man and all that stuff. I talked about this last week. And actually, they're actually saying exactly the same thing. But when we started this program, nobody was talking about. They must be watching this program. When we actually start broadcasting and we start talking about things like that, and some people must be actually picking up on it, you know, which is actually a good thing. And I think it's a good thing. The only thing about the minister coming in and said that is that the fact that a lot of fans or a lot of people who doesn't support gun violence, she says it's a bit too late. But I never think it's too late, you know what I mean? So it is good to see that. And I say, I don't think it's, those at the top need to make a strong stand on this sort of thing, yeah? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. How you doing, Shaz?
I'm not too bad. I'm all right here.
Good. Now, it's time for what I call my rant. Now, this week's rant is, wow. As I was saying, we see a lot of crashes on our road. Not just in this country, but in a lot of different countries. And it makes me wonder about human lives. Crashes on our road is sort of unacceptable and they can be avoided. Sometimes I think it's drugs. Sometimes I think it's drink. Sometimes I think it's just bad driving. But see one today, there's one that came out today in Germany. I think that was a 7-vehicle pileup. You know what I mean? It's a waste of human life when you get all this sort of thing happening. And also there's some of the authorities said it's unnecessary. And nobody ever talk about this or nobody ever realize, because we sort of just take it, carry on, and you know, it happens and we carry on. But don't realize how serious it is and don't realize how the damage it caused to families or other people. You know what I mean? When people are just careless drivers on that sort of thing. Now, let me play devil's advocate here, because I sometimes wonder if, you know, to talk about cars that drive themselves. Let's talk about cars that drive themselves. So, if you have cars that drive themselves, I wonder if this will be any safer. I don't know. Will this be any safer? Because at the moment, the way humans drive on the road is absolutely ridiculous. A couple of years ago, you know, I got to put me in this. Let me put me in this. A couple of years ago, I was actually driving to Birmingham City Centre. And I had a big car. Because I'm not very tall. So I always drive big car. I have a big house and I have a big car. That's when you're short. That's what you do. And I was driving into Birmingham City Centre. And cameras are down there. And it was about 8 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. Busy. And a car came and hit me. I don't know where it came from. And I had a big car. And it turned the car over. 8 o'clock in the afternoon. And when it turned the car over, I was trapped in the car. The airbags went off. Everything went off. When the police came and they rescued me, I had blackout in the car. When the police came and rescued me, it was 8 o'clock in the night. They said the petrol station was going to go up in fire. The ambulance was there. The fire brigade was there. And everybody was there. They said I was very lucky to be alive. Luckily, all I came out with was a scratch on my feet. Sometimes my teeth mess about. But that's, if you ever hear me talk, sometimes it affects my speech a little bit. But it's not affecting my speech now because everybody says I'm chat too much. So those are the sort of things, you know what I mean, that actually happens to me. And I say, people be more mindful of how they drive on the road. I mean, I see people come head on towards me in a driving situation. They don't care. They just, and I don't want to say this, but there's some groups are just so more careless than other groups. We hope that, you know what I mean, something can happen. You know what I mean? I don't know exactly what the authorities are doing about this, but I said we shouldn't take it for granted. And we shouldn't take the lives for granted of what is actually happening on our road. Yeah. Need to move on. Now, racist abuse of the man you see on my screen. And he was called the N-word, playing in a different country. Now, when you go somewhere else and playing in a different country for a team, you don't expect to have racist abuse. We see racist abuse all over the place. We see racist abuse in the UK. We see racist abuse in Europe. Now we're seeing it in China. I do hope the Chinese government takes these sort of things seriously. You know what I mean? And try and sort things out. Got a clip. I'm going to see if we can find to play to see if the sort of situation this man found himself in. And he was abused by Chinese fans because he was playing for a different team in China. And he's not playing for American, he's playing for a Chinese team. So I don't know why he should actually come under racist abuse. And it says, I don't know how that sort of thing in this period of time still keep going on. And I think authorities need to step on it. They step on a lot of other things. There's certain things you can't say about other people. They step on it. Why they keep going on and going on and going on and let racial abuse or racial words still keep going on. And I'm trying to see if we can hear what is actually going on here, where the so-called fans are actually using the N-word and telling this man to go back to his own country or he should get out of China, which is absolutely disgusting. And they say, that sort of thing you don't need. You don't need it. You don't need it any time at all. So what the governments needs to do, you know what I mean, they need to step on this sort of thing very, very hard and condone it and make sure it doesn't keep happening all the time. Because over the years, we see it happening too many times. We see it in football. We see it in other sports. And it's, you know what I mean, I got to tell you, why I did love the African Cup of Nations. And there was different countries in it. I mean, Egypt was in it. Egypt is from up the north. There was Senegal in it, who was from different side. What I did like about that match and that tournament, there was no racist abuse in that match. You know? And I say, the N-word came out. You know what I mean? The N-word, they start using the N-word at this man in the game. And it's disgusting to see when this sort of thing happens. And it's not nice. It's not nice. And it's one of the ones where you think, well, do I give up the match? Do I go back to my own country? do I come out of this place because I'm away from home and I'm supporting this country and I'm playing for a team in this country and I'm having racial abuse? So, don't think that is good. And I do hope, as I say, it stops. You know what I mean? And stop. All racial abuse, no matter who it is and no matter who they are, we shouldn't be able to tolerate it. And that's where I am with that. Yeah. So let me move on. Shaza, how you doing?
I'm all right.
You're all right.
Very interesting listening to you.
Have your rant. Very, very interesting. You touched on the point of racism in the sport there of basketball, but it's still very evident in our country.
Yeah, yeah.
Very,
and you played in that sport, haven't you? You're associated with that sport?
Yeah, but you know what gets me is, I mean, you refer to the N-word being used.
Yeah.
What I don't like and what I find very hard to get to grips with is a lot of the American rappers.
Oh, dear me. I know where you're going.
Because that N-word is normal to them.
Yeah, yeah. And
a lot of our youth use it as well. Like
of course.
It's
of
okay.
Course, of course.
I just don't understand it. I don't get it. We get upset at other nationalities
using it. Yes.
As a form of abuse to us.
Yes.
But then they accept it as being the norm.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you're cool. And what planet are they on?
I totally agree with you. And I think that to myself, because as you know, I listen to a lot of music and all this. And I totally, those music I would never play anyway. I would never play them in my house. I never play anywhere. Anytime I hear something like that,
I don't play them.
It's got nothing in for me. I can't get nothing out of it.
But they're played on the radio like it's the norm.
Yeah, yes. And what they do then, well, they play it and they go, they play what's supposed to be a clean version. But you know what is coming out anyway, so it's not clean, is it?
No, it's not clean.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable, but enough noise isn't made about it for it to have that impact where it's
gone.
Deleted.
And you know, the thing about it as well, and what I find strange is that, as you say, the Americans use it a lot. What I find sometimes strange is that if somebody come and say, you can't call somebody that. You can't call somebody that. If you can see where I'm going, I'm not going to say where I'm going with.
Yeah.
You can't call somebody that. Then stop. And this is what I find, not just Americans, this is what I find about it. But the moment of time you say, oh, you can't use the N-word, they still carry on using it, you know what I mean? And it's one of them ones. And I think a lot of the older rappers used to stop using it, you know what I mean? But now you hear it again, you hear it really big. I think, as I said, for a while you never used to hear it so often.
Yes, it seemed to be dying down for a while, but it's become very prominent again.
Yeah, especially in sort of, yes, especially sort of young people music, that generation of music, and they sort of keep using it more and more and more and more and more now, you know what I mean?
And they call you my dog, and what? I wouldn't want nobody to refer to me as my dog. But the wording that they use, the terminology, it's not acceptable.
No.
But it's the norm for them.
Yeah, I don't see how that can be actually normal. You know what I mean? It's not, you know. I don't know. As you say, it had faded out for a little while, but it's like back in a big way. It's like very fashionable now. I hate to say that.
Yes, it's a trend.
It's a trend, and how can we knock it out of the system?
Boy, I'd love to know. I would love to know. I think that'd be the $1 million question, and if we knew how to
knock it out the system. And we could say education, but are we beating her?
Education, you're touching on a minefield there.
A minefield, yeah.
That's a minefield because...
In what context?
And I say that because look at the education system now. It's not what it was when we were going to school.
Yeah.
We had strict discipline. Now...
That is the problem. Is that the problem, though?
That is the root of all.
Well, if we go to that now, shall we go to home? Shall we go to home and young children at home? Shall we go to home and young children at home?
We can
or what
touch on
you
it.
teach your children when they grow it up?
There is no discipline within the home because we're no longer allowed to discipline our children.
Yeah. In what context would you say that?
And I say that, all right then, I was lucky. I wasn't one of these children that had the belt and get beat and all that. But it was around me.
Yeah. I think it was
But
around all of us.
It was, but what was good for us was the look.
Yeah.
You would get a look. I was brought up with my grandmother.
I don't think, I got to say
I
this.
was brought up with my grandmother.
I think a lot of us inherit that look as well.
Yeah.
You
But
would
it
have
doesn't,
inherited.
it doesn't have the same impact,
Nah,
though, does it?
You would have inherited. I would have inherited as well. You know what I mean?
My grandchildren
I still
fear
got mine.
me. My grandchildren fear me when I give them that look.
Yeah.
They call me Gigi, and if I give them that look, they look at me and say, "Oh my gosh, I've upset Gigi." So, and I'm glad that they've got that fear,
Yeah.
because it shows me that they will respect me and respect me for it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I just think, whoa, they have no control.
Yeah.
But the schools, well, no, it's not the schools. The government have taken that from us as parents.
Yeah. Well, I talked to a brother a couple of months ago, and he says he doesn't allow the government to rule his children. Or he doesn't allow, his exact word, he doesn't allow the government to grow up his children. Mm-hmm. But I could understand where you go with that, because it's a very, very difficult, it's a very, very good, difficult situation.
It is, but it just takes the child to go to school that you haven't even got to put your hand on them. Just tell the teacher, my mum or my dad hit me, and what happens? In our day, if you said that, nothing happened.
Nothing happens.
But now, police
Yeah.
will go and take you out of where you work
Yeah.
and say your child accused you. And then the child doesn't realise, but what happens is they then remove the child from the home.
And then where do they put the child in?
Exactly. Where do they put them?
They put them in probably a care home or a play place where they
And
get into worse trouble again,
the
don't they?
care homes are not what they used to be.
Yeah.
They used to fear going to them, but now it's a playground,
Is it?
because they get everything. They're treated like celebrities, as far as I'm concerned.
Serious?
They are, because they don't want for anything, because there's nothing that they can't have. It's no longer a deterrent.
Serious.
And then they want to put you back in the home with rules and regulations as the parents. Don't get me started. That's a rant in itself.
I know, but how do we change it?
It's impossible to change it on your own. You
No,
have to
of
be
course not, of
you have
course
to
not.
be united as a force to be able to get that change implemented.
Yeah.
Have to be.
Well, you're gonna get you're gonna get some people who sort of united with you, and then you're gonna get somebody who's not gonna unite with you. You know, they're gonna say, "Oh, you're too harsh on your children. You're this and you're that, and all that sort of stuff." Because you get that.
Yes, you're always going to get that. But then, if we're saying that it's the government that have implemented these new changes and restrictions so that we can't discipline, you need to get people of colour to be those politicians so that the voice is then able to be heard.
Yes.
In Parliament.
And you've got a good point, but you see, we can get another struggle here as well, you know, because I don't want to say this, but I only tell it as it is. Very hard to find people of colour to sort of unite and stand firm with each other to get to where we're talking about, isn't it?
Yes.
And that's not come out of my mouth easily.
Yeah, no. We're very distrusting.
Yes, don't trust anybody.
Yeah. And it's sad. It's very sad that we are at a stage where, 2022?
Mm-hmm.
And we're at that stage where I thought, as a child growing up, to envisage 2022, to me, the world would have been nice.
Exactly.
Equality would be there.
Yeah.
It would be evident. But no. If anything, to me, it's gone back.
It has gone back.
Because there was a stage when it seemed to be panning out quite equally.
Yeah,
I used to work for social services.
Yeah.
We had lots of black managers and people in good positions, but all that's gone again.
What happened? What happened? Because there's a lot of people who's well educated to do that. So what happened?
Yeah. I saw a list the other day of top black people worldwide that have made great stance in history in terms of commemorative things that they have done. And that's not pushed upon us. And it should be.
Yeah.
And I've looked at it and I screenshotted it and I said, I'm gonna go into it a little bit deeper.
What is
not here, in the future.
Is it the fact that we don't look for it and embrace it?
could well be.
It's not. It's not. No. It's not. Put it this way. It's not. It's not. How do I put this? It's no use. You allow other people to support somebody else if you don't support your own self.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's how I want to put it.
I hear you.
In fact, the classic one is that you can't expect other people to tell our story then. If
yes,
you can see,
that's right.
that's what I'm see the part I'm getting to.
Yeah,
so that is the easy way to put it. You can't expect other people to tell our story.
You've opened up a whole can of worms here. You realise that? This is a very deep topic for discussion that needs to be not just two people.
If you don't discuss
dialogue for many.
That's why we ask a lot of people to come on the show. If you don't discuss this sort of thing, you know what I mean? Nobody else talks about it.
But then you say that, and I believe as time has gone by, when you look back, lots of discussions have taken place in open forums like this.
Yeah.
But there's never been
nothing
a
happened.
Conclusion.
It doesn't move on. No. Nothing happened.
You air it, you say it, and that's it.
Yeah, there's another one. Chat, and nothing ever happened. That is another thing as well.
Yeah. And it's all because we don't trust. And we also like to sell out.
Yeah.
And go against, because one thing I've noticed, being a promoter too, you have a lot of bitchiness, backbiting, and I don't like to use the word bad-minded, but it is something that's there. They envy what you do. Jeez. They can't just wish you well, embrace it and say, well done.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
How many people over the years have you ever said, you're doing great, you're doing well? How many times have you ever heard that?
Very few.
Very, very few, isn't it?
But
unless it's your close circle of friends.
Yeah.
But outside of that, you couldn't go out the street and somebody know you for what you do and see you doing something and say, oh, I like what you're doing, you know. I like what you're doing.
As you know, my partner and myself, Gate Crash for those of
you
who don't know,
Yeah.
We do a very, very successful event called the UK Legends of Legends.
That's right, yeah.
This would have actually been its 16th year.
My days.
But it's the 14th because of COVID. We lost 2 years. But people don't just embrace the fact that we've been going for 14 years and got a very good brand and we're doing well. They just look and say, you must have a bag of money if you can do that. You know, and you think, why does money come into it?
I know.
We've lost as well with
of course.
The cancellation,
of course.
You know, but they don't look at that.
No.
And then you get the next thing that, you probably get it as well, Carl, if you put events on. Like, oh, you can get a free ticket. And you think, why? Why can't they just support you? Because you can't go to the O2 or Academy and say, give me a free ticket. You know what I'm trying to say? Just support your one another. Support you. And don't try to compete and say, do something, me I gotta do something to, or whatever. No.
Don't want to say this because I don't really like saying this. Jealousy. Does jealousy comes into it?
Yeah, that's what I did say. I didn't use the word jealousy. I said envy.
Envy.
It does.
Big time is it? Yeah. I said, I many years ago, I went to the United States. As bad as what you hear about the United States, and I came into a couple of business people, and some of the was my relative. And some of the people come and visit, you know, my relatives, and they had a business. And the first thing they say, you're doing great. They didn't know them. You're doing great. You're doing fantastic. But as I say, you never hear this sort of thing around, you know, around probably like this circle. They never say, "Oh, you're doing great. You're doing marvelous." So big shout out to you, not me.
Yeah.
They just never. And I don't know where that is coming from. You know.
But on a brighter note, because I don't want this to just sound like we're just on a low here. A lot of the younger generation. Have got very good business minds.
Yes.
And they're coming out with some businesses that are making them real entrepreneurs. So I applaud them for that. And, you know, and it's nice to see that they're setting up forums where they're encouraging others to use their brains, have their own ideas, and put it into plan as well. And it's like a helping hand, which is what we should be doing. Helping each other up, not being at the top of the ladder and then treading on them to push them back down.
Treading on each other.
It should be about helping each other up.
I totally agree. And you got another situation where, you know, some of the senior citizen, the knowledge they've got, the knowledge they could share, And it's like, sometimes you ask them and they don't want to know. They wouldn't even share. And I mean, there's a well-known person that I actually talking to. And when we ask him for some ideas, the first thing he turned around to him and said, have you got the copyright for it? Can I get the copyright for it?
Oh dear.
I just want the information. Just share the information. You know what I mean? Because they've got a lot of knowledge, and you just never ever sort of can get onto that knowledge.
This
you know?
untrusting nature again.
Yeah.
Because they've been bitten and sold out and abused with it before, so they become recluses with it and they don't want to share it, which is sad.
But do you think we got a problem in the fact, as I say, we're opening a camera rooms. Do you think we got a problem in the fact that a lot of other race has been in tough things? The one I always draw the line with is the Japanese. Mm-hmm. Remember what happened to the Japanese at Pearl Harbor?
Okay, yeah, see.
Look where they are now in the world.
Yeah.
And I know people say it's because we slavery and all that sort of stuff, and you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We've come a long way since slavery, and I'm not saying slavery never happened. I would never ever dare knock it.
But slavery's still happening.
Yeah, of course, it's still happening.
It's
but
still happening.
I would never ever dare knock it in the context, you know. But I think, I don't know. I don't. It's very very difficult to have an answer. And as I say, I think we actually sort of, you know, need to. It's a big forum. Isn't it? It's a big. It's a very big. I just kind of words when we started. It's a big decision.
I know at the start I said about can we forgive and forget.
Yes, we're going to that forgive and forget now.
And yes. This is what you just said has just brought me onto this again, because the word forgive and forget go hand in hand a lot of time. Yes. Because they say you need to be able to forgive and move on. Not necessarily forget. And the one thing that I know I said I can forgive. Yes. But it's not always in every circumstance. Okay. And the one thing for me that is sad and that I have no control over, and I believe a lot of people who are watching this or listening to this will agree with me, is the fact that our ancestors were taken as slaves and wiped out. Yeah. We will never ever know, lots of us will never know our true heritage because of that. Many of us have got generations that are just non-existent because we don't know. You can do a DNA and trace them to do your family tree, but we're never ever going to know really because we were then under slave masters and got their names. And that is one thing that I can't ever forget that.
Can't forget that.
And I can't forgive for that either, because when you watch certain films, that hatred that can come along, they say the line between love and hate is very thin. Yeah. It is, but I watch a lot of those programs to the point that sometimes I have to go, no, I can't watch it no more. And if I'm at home with Trevor, he'll say, Babes, I can't watch that, you know. Yeah. No, so I can't watch that.
You know, my mother, my late mother used to watch those films. And then he used to say to me, I can't watch this thing anymore, you know. Because my mother was there. My mother was born sort of 1919. And she always said to me, I can't watch these things anymore, you know.
Yeah, no. Sometimes it's with a heavy heart that I watch it. And I imagine, gosh, that could have been one of my ancestors going through that and what they're enduring. You know, it's a hard pill to swallow.
So we talk about forgive and forget. What are some of the things you can actually forgive and forget?
I can forgive somebody for cheating on me. Well, I can forgive that because...
You can forgive someone cheating on you?
Yeah, because I look at that as human nature.
Okay.
I will not forget it. Yeah, it will always be in the back of my mind. But if you're not able to forgive, I say, you're not going to move on.
You can accept that.
I can accept that.
Yeah, that is
because it's human nature.
Where's this coming from then? Is this your spiritual belief, or is this coming from a religious background, or where's this coming from? So to forgive.
My grandmother, something that was instilled into me from childhood. So, and I try to encourage other people as well with that. I have a couple of people at the food bank that are working under me that were in the system, once homeless and whatever, and they're very sort of like bitter with the world. And I show them love and I embrace them. And so I'm forever saying to them, move on, man.
Move on.
Don't let it consume your heart. don't let it take up space in your head. I heard Trevor once talking to his daughter, Leisha, the singer.
I know Leisha.
And as you know, Leisha's a sickler.
Yeah.
And she does worry a lot. So as much as she's a sickle warrior, she's also a warrior.
Yeah.
And Trevor is always the one that's on the receiving end to talk her and calm her out of it.
Mm.
And I took on board something that he said to her, and I pass it on too. Why you let people consume space in your brain? Are they giving you rent money to be occupying space in your brain? No, let it go.
Let it go.
Because if you let it consume you, your heart becomes heavy, you can't sleep, you can't rest, everything.
Yeah.
Why? Why let something trivial?
Don't let it stress you.
Yeah, don't let it stress you. Because it's trivial. It might not be trivial to you at the time, but as you always say, other people are always going through bigger more pressures. So just let it go. So I adopt that as well. I try not to let things occupy my head that don't need to.
I'm very much the same as well. I don't let things occupy my head. And I think that also comes with age.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it does.
That's comes with, as you get older.
Well, they say with age comes wisdom.
Yeah, you know, when you're a bit younger or something like that, you are 18, 19, 20, and you're 20, you're raw, what we call raw.
Yeah. So, that's not to say I don't have a hot temper, because there are times when I have to sort of like,
I've never had a hot temper.
Oh, I have.
All my life, I don't think, if you step on me, because I've got the personality, you know, I'm not very, very tall, but you don't need to be tall.
No, it's a little antaloa.
You don't need to tougher, you don't need to, once you've got this, what you call the personality to deal with it. And that's how I deal with things. You know
It's a small axe.
Small axe.
Yeah, small
I'm not
axe.
Small.
No, but I'm just saying small axe.
I'm not that small.
Yeah.
Once you got the personality to deal with it, you know what I mean? It's something.
Yeah.
As I say, I think that the thing for me is that forgive, yes, forget. What do I forget? I mean, there's some things I will never forget.
Yeah.
Racism. It's very hard if you be racially abused to forget, isn't it?
It is, but
I don't know how you.
No, I can forgive it, but I won't forget it.
Yeah, that's what I said. I can't forget.
No.
I can't.
It will always be here.
I think that's also very hard to forgive, you know, because if you've been racially abused, you know what I mean. The first thing you think, well, that person is a racist anyway. They're never going to change.
You see, for me, it's different, because I can look at it to say they know no better. Because it's how they were brought up.
You're going to give them that?
Yeah, I will do, because sometimes you have to look in people's backgrounds.
Yeah.
And if you're able to look into their backgrounds, you realise they know no better. I look at our older generation, and one thing, my grandmother did it, my uncles did it. Coloured people. Yes. And they think it's offensive to say black people.
Yeah.
And I have to look at it, it's how they were brought up.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. And some people say I don't really like to use the term black people. You know what I mean? I mean, myself, I know who I am, I know where I'm coming from. But most of the time I would say African Caribbean. I always say British African Caribbean. You know what I mean? I always say Nubian. And I know I'm going to get leak out in this, you know, I mean, big time, but I'm going to say it anyway. Because, and that is because the fact, what we've done is, we've embraced that word, because you're black this. You're a black bastard. You're a black F.
Yeah.
You're black male.
The negativity.
There's another one that was called black male and all that sort of stuff. So they've used that trend on us all over the years. I'm not saying I'll get leaked out on this. They've used that trend all over us. What we've done, we've embraced it. And that's how I feel about that. Just like how we're talking about using the N-word, you know, and those guys who are embracing it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that is what I sort of, you know, I know who I am. I know where I'm coming from. I'm not saying I'm, you know, exactly who I am. But that's the problem I have. And when I talk to some of the younger people, they says, well, where's that coming from? But I know there's very, very good historian out there who's gone in deep with this and will much more knowledgeable of sort of what I'm talking about. And I said, well, Carl, you're wrong, you know, because this is that. And I don't take that away from them.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say it's one of the ones, but...
It is one. It's a very big...
Yeah.
Topic for debate.
Yeah, it is.
And it would be better in a real big open forum. It's good to hear other people talking about it.
That's right.
Because people have so many experiences to share.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that we learn from.
Yeah. And when you say that, the first people can say, "You don't think him black, you know," which is bull.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't think himself a black man, you know, which is bull.
Yeah.
You know? But it's just that if you see where I'm going, if I explain to you where I'm going, because it's all used in the negative from the beginning of the time until we sort of discover. Until we sort of, a lot of us who studies and discover where it's actually coming from, then you can say to me, Carl, where this is where it's coming from and such a thing is happening. You're totally wrong, you know what I mean? But until then, or until somebody come and put it into me, well, this is where it's coming from, you know, Carl, and such a thing, you're totally right. And look at it from this point of view. It's all in negative, and people say you shouldn't tie it into them. But they still do it.
Yeah.
We saw in Parliament there the other day when they was talking about it. The first thing you hear in Parliament, blackmail.
Yeah.
With Boris Johnson. You know, there was blackmailing people to, you know, to the Partygate thing. So that is what I have with that sort of thing.
Scandalous.
Partygate is
scandalous.
That is what I have, you know, with that sort of thing, you know. Okay, so it's one of them ones. It's one of them. But I say I don't know how I'm going to get around it. How I'm going to do it. But it's still very.
It's going to be one of those things that's going to be forever topic for people to discuss.
Yeah.
And it's only discussing it that makes it get out there for great awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally see what you're saying, you know what I mean? What about businesses? Tell us a little bit about your business.
Okay, which one?
Which one?
Okay, all right. We have
your next event.
Our next event is coming up on Saturday, the 26th of March, and that's at the Holiday Inn, Junction 7 in Great Bar.
Okay.
And that's the 14th annual UK Legends of Legends
14th.
event. The 14th one, which, as I say, would have been the 16th one. So with all the government restrictions and guidelines around COVID, we have put in limitations, and it's in a new format now.
Okay.
So it's in a hotel,
okay.
So very plush. All our hotel rooms that we've had allocated are sold out.
Okay.
People can still go online if they want to.
Marvellous.
But we have a vast array of UK artists that are here to please you. We have our very own Lisa Mack from Birmingham.
Big shout out to you, Lisa Mack.
We have Tenor Star.
Tenor Star, yeah.
We have Barry Boom.
Marvellous.
We have, gosh, so many people. Janet Lee Davis. I should have brought the flyer with me.
You know,
yeah. And it's hosted by myself and my partner Rankin.
Awesome.
Mr. Gatecrash, UK Legends of Legends himself. And then, so that's on Saturday, the 26th of March, and it's also celebrating Mother's Day, because it's actually on, well, after midnight it becomes Mother's Day.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's celebrating Mother's Days, and we're actually calling this one the Hotel Experience.
Wow,
so it's nice to know that people are coming in from early in the day.
Yeah.
They're going to stop, they're going to have a meal.
Yeah.
That's not part of the package, but under the hotel, and then come straight into the suite that we've got for the show itself, for the concert. And then the following morning, we'll all have breakfast together.
Marvellous.
And just finish off that experience with
Repeat
them.
exactly where it is again.
It's at the Holiday Inn,
yes.
Junction 7, M6,
yeah.
and that's in Great Bar on Chapel Lane.
And how long has it been going?
14 years this year is our anniversary. And we're just looking forward to having the night take place, because, as I say, it's been cancelled for the last 2 years.
Where's my free ticket?
Here they're not. In the post. I'll put it in the post for you, all right? Put it in the post for you.
Time to laugh.
Yeah. But no, you asked what other things we're doing. So we do the food bank as well, which is the Birmingham Care Group Food Bank.
Yeah.
And that's based on Kenyon Street in Hockley, the Jewellery Quarter, yeah. And that operates on a Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, 11 till 1 p.m.
Yeah.
And that's for a donation of £2, gets you a healthy basic food parcel. Or £5, you can have a Caribbean parcel where you get your hardo bread, your bun, and little callaloo and a few nice little luxuries in there. Or you can have it as a mixed toiletries parcel where you get your shower gel, basic essentials for toiletries. It's a healthy parcel, and nobody quivers about it. They support it.
Marvellous.
We've got bringing communities together later in the year. Yes, that's.
And where's that at?
That's in Handsworth Park, and that's scheduled for July. I believe it's July the 10th. I believe. Don't don't swear by that, but yeah.
Okay.
And that's an annual event that Trevor's been doing. Well, he started it over 20 years ago, actually.
Okay.
And they have a charity, no, not charity, a fun day sickle cell match that takes place. And then we network with other agencies, and the health stands are there as well. So we have like Oscar Birmingham, we have Mind Mental Health, Birmingham Care Group are there, Birmingham Care Services, other people to network you and signpost you for other various health conditions that are going on.
My days, you're busy.
Very, very busy. And then we do our big New Year's Eve event where we are promoters in unity.
You got into
so yeah.
You got into
so it's no, you just well, it's what we do. So singly, we have UK Legends of Legends. Yeah. United, we are promoters in unity, and together as a force, we are with Birmingham Care Group, bringing communities together, and Birmingham Care Services.
Shazidi, we're coming to the end of the program. Let me say thanks.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Yeah, you're welcome. And thanks for your presence. It's been absolutely well. It has been fun, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. It really, really has. Watching you and seeing you, it's completely different to being here. For one, it's very hot. I feel like I'm in the tropics. I could have come in a bikini, you know. So it's very hot. No. What are you implying? Yeah, no, thank you very much for having me. It's been an honour and a pleasure. And as I said to you earlier, ending the year bad with death and starting it, this has just brought a little lease of life to me today. Yeah. I was dreading it at first, thinking, oh, I'm so heavy. Not dreading it for being here, just thinking, oh, I'm so consumed with whatever it is that's going on. Yeah. But when I got home and Trevor said, come on, it was literally like, come on, pull yourself together. Yeah. I thank you for giving me the chance to express myself.
Thank you very much. Let me say thank you for coming to Breakthrough TV. And don't forget, guys, if you want to take part in the show, hook us up, breakthroughtv@gmail.com. Let me say thank you and thanks for Shazadi. And also a big shout out to you, Lisa Mack. And Mr. Gatecrash, Trevor, big shout out to you, sir. Good afternoon. Our time is almost here. Don't forget, you can catch us again with another What's on Your Mind. And if you want to take part in the program, I'll say hook us up here, right, at breakthroughtv@gmail.com. We're always looking for you guys to come and have a chat with us, just like you see I do this done with Shazzy today. Have a great afternoon. Look after yourself. Don't forget, you can catch me on the Drive Time Show, Car with a C, 3 till 6 tomorrow. Also, Thursday, Friday, 3 till 6, the Drive Time Show. And don't forget, you can also go to YouTube, Breakthrough TV, Carl, What's on Your Mind. My time is up. Have a great week. Look after yourself. The weekend is nearly here. God bless. Thank you to my guests. Maximum respect. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon.
On Your Mind is sponsored by ACMC 339 Dudley Road, New Style Radio 98.7 FM, Breakthrough Studios, and Reggae Jam Jam.
Planning an event? Do it professionally. Please contact Breakthrough Event Management Team and get everything under one roof for both indoor and outdoor occasions, birthday parties, bridal and baby showers, anniversaries, funerals, backyard BBQs and more. We offer a video and photography service, marquees, decoration and a PA system to hire, with popular new style radio DJs spinning old and new school hits. Please contact 07584 197 380 and book all your catering needs with Reggae Jam Jam catering service on 0787 244 3765. And remember, do it good and done.